Today we got another steaming hot cup of film soup with actual soup coming right up. Hey, before we dive into today's video, I wanted to mention that this is episode number 100 of The Old Camera Guy, and there's many more to come, so if you dig film photography like I do, make sure you subscribe down below to catch a new episode every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Well, my film soup videos have gotten a little more attention here recently. Fellow photographer Gavin Lyons, who's based in Austria, gave a shout out to my film soup videos in his recent video on developing some Kodak Color Plus with the Tetanol C41 kit. Gavin's got a lot of great videos biking and photographing all around Europe. You can find links to his stuff in the description down below. Now, I also had the good fortune to sit down and have a conversation with photographer and filmmaker Joan Michel. Joan posts a lot of powerful, thought-provoking work here on YouTube, and you can find a link to our discussion in the description too. One of the things Joan and I talked about is my film soup videos, and I mentioned that after I posted the last one, I got a comment from Neil Fowler asking if anyone's done film soup using actual soup. My first thought was, well, I've never seen it. My second thought was, why didn't I think of that? Now remember, film soup is when you take a roll of film, most commonly 35mm negative film, and then soak it or soup it in various liquids. And the purpose of this is to get all kinds of interesting, funky patterns and colors and splotches to spice up your images. Now, you can soup the film before you shoot it, but if you do that, you run the risk of gunking up your camera. So I always like to shoot my film first and then soup it. And when it comes time to developing the film, I like to use an old C41 kit to make sure I don't contaminate a fresh batch of chemicals. If you send this out to a lab, make sure you check ahead of time to see if they're cool with souped film. Some labs won't even touch it. So I really like Neil Fowler's idea of using actual soup to do the film soup, but I didn't want to use anything too chunky. So I came across this Poppy's vegetable soup. It's a thin broth. So I popped it into the Keurig machine, brewed it, and dumped my film into the steaming hot soup. I let it soak for 24 hours, and then rinsed it and let it dry for another 24 hours before developing. And again, when it came time to develop it, I used an old C41 kit that I've run over 20 rolls through. Let's see what I got. For the most part, the results are pretty subtle. When it comes to film soup, I feel like go big or go home, so I actually prefer the bolder results I got with red wine. This soup gave some images the pinks and purples that looked a little bit like what you get with Lomochrome purple, but in a band pattern that was more like what you get with Psych Blues. You can see in some of the images that I got some aqua or turquoise dots that looked a little bit like cells under a microscope, which I thought was kind of cool too. Again, just like any film soup, you never know what you're going to get, but that's half the fun, right? So sometimes you just gotta let go, roll with it, and enjoy the ride. Now I'm definitely gonna bring you more film soup, so stay tuned to the channel so you can check that out. That'll do it for today's episode, so until next time, do some good, have some fun, and shoot some film.